Ashley here with another random Skype call, and with me is my good pal Danny again.
Hello everyone, it's Danny here, and welcome back to the channel.
Well, you know how yesterday we were discussing about Sonic Boom and how much it just really didn't turn out well?
Sonic Forces.
Yes, and then not Sonic Boom. Then again, that game is pretty bad.
That is sadly the first game I actually bought on release.
Yikes. And it had so much potential.
What a horrible birthday present.
Yeah.
And I bought for myself.
Heck, I even did a little bit of a picture where Lord Hood is actually talking with Lyric. I just had to because, you know, they're both villains, except Lord Hood is actually more intimidating.
Yes.
The old Mordred, not the newer one.
But anyway, we are here to talk about Knights.
Yes.
It is Knights' time to shine.
Yes, it's my time to shine, as Knights would say in All-Stars Racing Transformed.
It's my time to shine. So Sonic, move out of the way. This is my screen time.
Okay. Jeez, calm down. Jeez. Seriously, Knights, must you do that to him?
He's done that to me for far too long. It's my turn.
All right. So, Danny, about what your experience with Knights is.
Okay, so mine was pretty generic for some people. I encountered Knights via other Sonic games. So, if I can recall, I think the first time I ever was introduced to Knights was in Sonic Lost World with the Nightmare DLC.
Yeah, it was really, really impressive to see what they could do. At least they did not forget. Plus, that was actually kind of nice of them to do that.
I thought the idea was really nice, and I then looked up Journey of Dreams, and then I saw... I don't know, I was just looking up Knights, and then I came across Journey of Dreams, and I watched that, but it was so long, I didn't get through with it. So then I just left myself there. And a little while later, Sonic Runners, the app, came out, and I was playing that heavily, and then Knights came up again on one of the events. I was like, hey, I recognize this character. I recognize this chick. So then I looked Knights up again, and then I got really into it. But throughout that whole entire time, I thought Knights was a girl. I never knew Knights was genderless until later.
I pretty much never really saw his Knights as any of that because, you know, I'll tell about my experience about how I encounter Knights, but I'll just let you continue, Danny. Also, Riella is also in that game.
Yes, he was. He was also in that, and I was like, actually, my sister was scared of him.
Why would she be scared of him?
I don't know, I think she was complaining about the red. You've talked to her, you know what happens. We don't need to get into that.
Well, I didn't really talk to her about Riella.
Yeah, but you've talked to her before, and you know what happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I started getting into Knights, and then I wanted to buy Journey of Dreams after watching the playthrough, and I ended up buying Journey of Dreams for $2 at GameStop.
That is really cheap.
And I actually recently went to GameStop a few weeks ago, and they were actually selling it for $4, so I was like, hey, profit went up, ha 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 ha.
But not a lot.
Yeah. I think I could say I played at least almost half of the game in one day because I thought it was so fun, but yet again, I'm a horrible gamer. I am terrible. So I lost at least the level at least once to 5 times each level. Some were just a fluke. But yeah, as that one started, I started looking for any type of Knights game I could actually play and what had Knights playable, so I bought stuff like Sonic Riders Zero Gravity.
Yeah, Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. Knights was a playable character. Well,
Superstar Tennis, Sega All-Stars Transformed, all that. And then eventually I started writing stories about Nights because I was like, oh, she's just so beautiful and lovely. What can go wrong in a dream? But I still had my vindictive, twisted mind, so...
That introduced dreams of reality.
Before it turned into the real dreams are reality that I'm presenting now.
Mm-hmm.
There was another story. I tried writing a creepypasta based off Riala's Heart, and you guys know that story already if you saw my video.
Yeah, that was my creepypasta that I wrote back then. Although clearly, I don't think a lot of people actually are gonna, think it's all that good.
I loved it.
Yes, you did. You stated that before. Because,
Yes.
well, honestly, the reason why I did it was because, well, I never really saw any other nice creepypasta aside from just, well, the one that involved Self. And, well, I was like, Riala didn't really get any of that. I mean, he is a bad guy, so it would make sense. But also give him a reason for why he's a monster. And no, I didn't want to go Jet the Killer route, or shall we say Slenderman, or any of those popular creepypasta characters.
Or Insanity route.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I ever posted my old creepypasta, it'd be the cringiest thing ever because, I don't know why, but it's just...
cringier creepypastas.
I just wanted to forget about that, and then I moved on to another story, and that turned out to be a Knights x Riala one because I thought they would be a perfect couple, and I disregarded the fact that they could be siblings. For some reason, I saw them more like a couple than they are to be siblings.
Because, well, there are people out there who do ship the two. I'm not saying that Now, I'm not really a fan. I'm not really a shipper of them, but honestly, it's alright, honestly. I mean, you can pretty much do it if you like. I mean, I'm not complaining if you like it.
I ship them so hard, and if you guys hated about it, I'm sorry, but that's my views. Don't flame either of us for it.
Yeah. I mean, I ship Riala with myself because, come on, I love that Red and Black Nightmare, and he's just so awesome.
But yeah, more and more I started writing, and lo and behold, dreams are reality, but darker than it should have been.
Yes.
So that I got deeper into the Knights lore. I started getting into the fan communities, checking out that stuff. I bought the Knights statue. I'm awaiting the Riala statue if it actually becomes real.
Yes.
All that good stuff.
And that way, Knights will actually have Riala to hang around with.
That's why when I heard the news that Knights would be getting a costume in Sonic Forces, even though it was a rumor, it's still like, Sega would most likely actually do it. So it's like, there's hope, they remember their child!
Yes! But we all know how that turned out. I mean, it was nice the fact that they remembered Knights, but it would have been nice to see the actual character, not just the costume.
Also, I just remember this one meme on Sonic's 25th anniversary, when they were hinting that they were having a special guest. Someone drew it where Knights was watching the live stream, and basically they brought out Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty out of all people! Hello Kitty!
Why?
Just because they're making a custom Hello Kitty Sonic doll.
That's it?
Yeah.
And I bet
they
Knights
even brought out a woman or man dressed up as Hello Kitty, and Knights was crying on the other side of the screen.
I could tell that Knights was definitely upset about that.
Because that year it was her 20th anniversary, and that's when I felt like, during the live stream, I felt it was appropriate to post that Knights being drunk at the bar thing.
Yeah. And also for the fact I did do a picture where, of course, Riala would be on the side, and because, well, he couldn't let Knights do this alone.
And originally I intended Riala to be there, but I got lazy.
I can't blame ya. So I did it for ya.
Yes. But then again, I am glad I didn't involve reality because I had another thought about that and it was just like not YouTube friendly.
Yeah, Knights would just hit on him.
Yep.
That's all you got.
Not YouTube friendly, but even though it'd be all a dream, it's still not friendly. And YouTube's going crazy with the adpocalypse and the ad-friendly bot, so yeah.
Yes. But anyway,
So,
sorry, go on.
that's me for you, in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, for my experience with Knights, I first pretty much saw Knights in Sonic Adventure 2. Well, I saw the poster in the hero side, you know, that one where you're running through City Escape. That was actually pretty cool. I was like, who the heck is this Knights character? Probably no one important. And then when I played the Shadow stage, Radical Highway, I saw the Knights Hotel. I was like, holy sharks, is that character again? Who the heck is this guy?
The big head on top of the building.
Yes, but in the Olympic Games, they changed that to the Chow. Why'd they do that? I don't get it. And
I don't know, it was Sega's thing. It's not like they're gonna get lawsuited.
Yeah. And then, of course, I got Sega Superstars Tennis, and when I saw the cutscene, the opening cutscene, and Knights appeared, I was like, hey, it's this character again. And honestly, I pretty much was confused about Knights' gender, so I just assumed it was a he. And that's how I've always pronounced Knights to be that. And, well, honestly, of course, I tried out Knights, and, well, I had fun playing as Knights. And, of course, when I saw Riel, I was like, I was actually kind of scared of him a bit, you know, kind of a little creeped out. But when I actually got to see a little more of him, what he was capable, I was like, wow, this guy is awesome. I mean, seriously, Riella, he was really fun to play as, especially with that handling, especially with the timing. Just saying. Although his All-Star is not really as effective as Knights. I'm not joking. Seriously, why did Riella have to get that? I mean, he was awesome, but they had to give him such a lousy All-Star. They could have made him, like, stunned a bit. They could have made characters who hit the ball stunned, and pretty much that would actually give a little bit of advantage. And again, that would be more likely, Eggman's attack and Gilius. Because they both use electric attacks, but still.
I don't know, when I played the game, I just found Riala a little bit of a difficult character to control, because like I said, I suck at video games.
I pretty much learned to master it. Although
lucky you.
Yes, lucky me!
Gah!
Sorry. Also, my dog's here, by the way, if you guys can't really hear that thing in the background. Anyways, what the heck are you doing, Zoe? You're trying to get all comfy or something?
Dang it, I can't see the doggy!
Hi, Zoe.
I love doggos! No!
Don't worry, I'm just pointing the camera so that what she is.
I know! I'm missing the doggo!
Oh, boy.
Ah!
Don't worry, you'll see her after this video. But,
yeah, that's true.
Anyways, and then later on, I just had to look up I looked up the games and wondering exactly where and what the heck? Zoe, what are you doing? She's trying to get all comfy with that.
What is she trying to do? Getting comfy with what?
She's trying to be all comfy on my bed. Anyways, yeah, I looked on the internet and I saw Journey of Dreams and I saw what it was about and it was like, okay, I want to get this game. So I went to a GameStop and I managed to get the game and I played it. I did have some struggling a bit, but I eventually got around to it. And oh my god,
how much did you have to pay for it?
I'd say about $15.
Jeez. And here it's supply and demand and it's hard. How did I came out lucky?
Yeah, you sure did. And well, let's just say I love that game. It's a childhood game of mine that I hold close to me. I mean, seriously. And then of course, I became a fan of it. But of course, after a while, I didn't really see much of Knights appear for about a few years. And then, well, until there was the game All Stars Racing, the first one, I pretty much heard that Knights was the flag person. Huh. Well, at least Knights got notified, but it still would have been nice to play as Knights. And
what I found sad was how did Bayonetta actually get a more confirmation in the game than Knights? That's what I found sad.
I don't know, fan service.
Yeah, like I said before, sex appeal.
Yeah, no kidding.
Our generations are going downhill.
Yeah. And they say it's bad to show it to children.
Tell it to all these people who don't know what they're showing their children.
Yeah. At least with Knights has a little more of a deeper story going on, besides some simple concepts slightly.
And then there goes Sega showing off her butt.
Yeah. And
I wonder if Knights was the start of Bayonetta.
I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. I can imagine, like, when the game Bayonetta was actually released, Knights actually just happened to be around and just, like, who the heck is this chick?
You know, what is this chick?
And then, of course, Bayonetta is talking with Riel, and he's just making friendly chat. And, of course, Bayonetta is slightly flirting because, you know, that's her generally, slightly.
I don't want to get to know her. I generally don't really like her. She really is just a
Yes,
icon.
she's a witch.
She's one of those icons.
Yes. And
so I don't want to get involved.
Yeah, let's not. Anyways, when Sega Super All-Stars Racing Transform came out, and I realized that Knights was in the game, and then Riala was in the game, this was actually by a Let's Play, by the way, I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this game! And when I did, I really had some trouble, but I eventually got used to the controls, and let me tell you, unlocking Knights was definitely relieving. I mean, seriously, I wanted to play as Knights for a while, and Knights became one of my main characters to play as, but then, of course, I had to get to the Superstar Showdown one, and Riala, he took a long time for me to unlock, but when I finally unlocked him, he was worth it.
You're the lucky duck. I quit.
Because you're more of a platformer, not really a racer.
Yeah, I grew up with platformers, 3D, 2D platformers.
I basically grew up with RPGs slightly, and of course, Sonic, of course.
Yep. But yeah, I just couldn't get used to those controls. They were always so inverted. And I just know. I was like, it wasn't worth it it wouldn't be worth it. I never even got to Knights.
That's sad.
Yep. I didn't even get to Knights. Not even close.
Yeah.
That's how horrible it was. And you know you're bad when your sister, who is worse, can't complete anything right either.
Oh.
That's when you know it's bad.
You know, if I were to actually help you out, I really would. And that way you could play
Yeah.
Knights.
I think the only karting game I actually can be good at is Mario Kart.
Yahoo!
Sorry, Sega, but Mario Kart is better in almost any circumstance after that.
Yes. The only reason why I bothered getting All-Stars Racing Transform was because of Knights and Riala.
Me too. And that may sound horrible, but then again, Knights hasn't had a game in years. And I'm pretty sure this year marks the 11th year, so fingers crossed they actually might do it. Because it's actually been like 11 years.
Yes.
Yes. Knights Into Dreams and Journey into Dreams had an 11-year span from each other from release. So it's like, hey, maybe it's time you get back on the saddle, Sega.
Yes.
Sega.
Stop milking Sonic. And give
We
him
got
that
the
vacation.
money.
Yes. Money, 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 money.
We got the money. Where's the game at?
Yes. And heck, since the Switch is out, they can really work their way around it.
Yeah, like I said, Super Mario Odyssey was the bar. Sega, if you can work hard enough to reach near that bar, I can assure you can get back some of your money.
Mm-hmm.
It's just don't stick to the same aspects. Expand. You expanded on Sonic so much, no wonder why you guys forgot where the box was. And you made Sonic Mania. Knights, you need to step out of the box.
Yes. And of course, we pretty much came up with some, Knights ideas, and I myself had done a ton of Knights artwork, but they were more of crossovers actually, mainly MLP. And no, I'm not into that series, okay? I'm not really into the show, I'm just more likely of what the fans come up with.
I don't like MLP, especially since my sister used to spam it all the time.
Grimdarks are more the thing.
I love Grimdarks.
Yes.
I'm a very bloody person.
Yes.
I will continue to say this for the longest time, probably until I die.
Yep.
Because seriously, I am a creepy person. This is why I should probably go to medical fields. Oh well.
You have your sanity at least.
Yeah, because there actually are people in this world who literally do need some urgent care, and it's just when it comes to nursing, you need people who actually can stomach that sort of thing. Because in the real world, how do you think doctors will handle these things?
Yeah. Anyways, when it comes to Knights fanfics, you don't really find a lot of them. It's just mainly FNAF.
Grrr.
Honestly, when I actually look up, say, like, Knights fan art, there are some really pretty looking Knights fan art out there.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it just really has that feel to it. And I really do like.
I know, there's so many good artists, and yet they get so little recognition.
Not to mention, there are people out there who make Knights comics.
Yes.
Which I actually had to admit, despite them actually having some little ideas, little points of what they could do with this, they actually managed to make something worth reading.
Yes. It's sad that a lot of these fans are going away because Knights has been dying.
And let's not forget my comic reading of the Knights comics.
Oh, goodness gravy, why?
Honestly, I did have fun with the first series. That was definitely interesting.
I thought the first series was okay, but if we were to compare it to the second one, I'd take the first one any day.
Yes, because the second one, you could tell that I was just like, what? I was like, bonkers, and just like, this is just plain bonkers, seriously.
Writing was bad, the artist was bad, almost everything was bad.
It's like whatever Ken Penders touched turned to that.
And that's the thing. This is a whole team of professionals. That shouldn't have gone that bad.
Yes.
Obviously, they didn't have a quality control, I guess.
Yes.
There's a reason why Knights does not have a weekly comic or a monthly comic.
And at least in the Sonic and Mega Man crossover, they actually did bring back Knights, along with Riala, thankfully.
And a whole bunch of other characters, but honestly, I found that just as sad.
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, this is a major crossover. Hope you guys enjoy it. But they mainly give them cameos. I get it, you're supposed to focus on the main characters, but my god, give them something. Give them something, seriously.
That's the thing, in writing, if you are to make that important, you need to make sure you put in these certain aspects that makes them underlined as important, not just oh, hello, can you help us? Like, okay, because it almost made it like you just picked up random people off the street.
Yep. I mean, seriously, Knights in Real look absolutely gorgeous in their redesigns.
I found a lot of people looked good in their new designs, especially since they haven't been used in years.
Yes, although I have to admit, Riala, he did seem more grumpy than usual. I mean, seriously.
Hey, would you rather have Series 2 Reala?
No! No, we don't need that!
Yeah.
I'll take a
So,
grumpy knight.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I'll take the grumpy one over that abomination any day.
Genocidal. Ugh.
Yes. And again, you said that Riella would drink a lot of wine if he basically, well, when he actually
Several
read that.
bottles of wine, just to forget about the horrid personality that he gave him.
Yes. It's like, I even posted the, well, I did the thing on DeviantArt, and let's just say I had a lot of fun doing that.
Nerd, you Archie! I'll kill every single one of you!
And of course, Knights is just crying in the corner. Oh my gosh. And you see why we did that little joke in the first call, in the first random Skype call mentioned about penders? That's what we were talking about.
I'm pretty sure they know, and I'm pretty sure they've seen your stuff, and I'm not sure about mine, but yeah.
Yeah, especially with that final breakdown. I just literally took my headphones off, which, wait, did I wear my headphones off then?
I believe you did.
Yeah, even though I wasn't hearing anything. I don't know what I was thinking of doing it back then, but
I don't know.
of course, and I backed up because I did not want to hit the table, and I just grabbed my head, and it's just like, Gah!
I just had a big breakdown.
You just literally saw my sanity just snap.
Everyone's sanity snapped.
It was so madness.
This is madness!
This is Knights! But yeah.
But yeah.
At least there are people out there who are trying to make Knights come back. Heck, I myself happen to be thought of an idea on how to make a Knights comic. Yet I'm pretty lazy to do it right now.
Well, you were doing the Nightmare and Team thing, but you stopped. But
don't worry,
yeah.
I didn't mean to stop. It's just that, well, I just sort of lost that spark a bit.
Ideas.
Yes, it was
Writer's block.
It was going to be an ocean one now.
The enemy of all artists.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I've been having writer's block.
Anyways, about my fanfic about this was Teen Nightmare, and it was mainly Knights, Riala, and Jackal. They were basically, of course, trying to it started off in Nightmare, where, of course, after Wiseman's defeat, Riala basically, of course, just seemed to be wondering what totally went wrong until Jackal points out that something was definitely up, and there, of course, they go and see that something is destroying their world, and therefore they couldn't handle it, and thus they had to get Knights' help, which, as much as Riala hates to admit it. And of course, even Knights couldn't help because, well, all three Nightmares were definitely powerless to stop this dark force. And yeah, and Knights and Riala, they lost their ability to fly. Yeah, it got stripped away. They can still float, you know, like in Superstars Tennis, where they're just floating. Yeah, that's mainly about it. Yeah, levitating. And yeah, they are going on these journeys and all.
And she also added in the egg bosses, which I find it fitting because now they're unemployed or dead.
Yes, they're secret bosses.
Whee!
And of course, I gave the egg bosses reasons for why they're doing this. And let's just say I actually tried to get very creative.
Creativity is the best type of creation.
Yes, yes.
Because original.
Indeed, it is. And, well, let's just say sometimes there's going to be, like, monsters that'll try to stop them. And, of course, there's also going to be team fights because, in Sonic Heroes, you actually get into team battles. I realized that in Sonic Heroes, most of the teams that butt heads with each other, they had no reason to fight. Except for Team Chaos and Team Rose, for they had a reason.
Miscommunication.
Yes. But pretty much about one of the teams Team Nightmare actually faces off against is Team Zodiac, which is Danny, of course, there's Conquering Storm and Mordred Hood. And they're in the jungle area.
Yeah.
And let's just say we had a little discussion of how that would turn out.
But then again, I'm like the Depression Lord and Grimdark Lord, so not always a good idea to go with me.
Yeah, although I will take some ideas on it.
Yeah.
And of course, Team Zodiac, of course, they have a different story. But I'll get to that point. But for Knights, they're trying to find Idia shards because the Idia that is protecting the Dream Gate as of now, they pretty much are putting up a barrier so that that darkness can't pretty much do anything. But it won't last for long, thus they have to book it. And, well, yeah, they go on these adventures to try to find these shards. It's sort of like finding the Chaos Emeralds, but they don't really need the Chaos Emeralds to use it. They're just using the Idia shards.
Yeah.
Just to power up the Idia and make that darkness fade.
Yes. By the real superpower of teamwork!
Yes, and I also make it seem like you're actually playing the game as you're going along through the story because, well...
This is a Sonic Heroes thingy.
Yes, and someone actually pointed out in one of my stories that, it's like, hey, it feels like we're in the story. And I was like, really? I didn't know I could actually make it seem like that. But yeah, it was actually nice that they mentioned that. And, yeah, and let's just say the characters, Knights, Riel, and Jackal, I actually make them have some nice dialogue, especially when it comes to arguing with each other, or do something silly, or just probably point out some obvious things, or just anything in general that would actually make it seem logical, or probably what they would say.
Yep.
So just that, Knights is speed character, Riel is power character, and Jackal is flight, because, he's the only one that hasn't been affected by that darkness. Also, his cards have been altered so they can use elemental attacks, including using bombs. And the point with the team attacks, it's all about the bonding and the right timing. Where, of course, Knights and Riala, they basically would pretty much cause paraloops, a massive paraloop, which sucks in a lot of the whole enemies, and Jackal unleashes bomb cards, which causes it to fully explode. Yeah, the main point about their type of going through, actually through all this, it's mainly about the bonding between characters and mostly character growth and development.
Yep.
Which you think that maybe that Knights and Riel would not really work together because, they hate each other. Yet they really need to rely on each other, so...
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, I definitely had a lot of fun doing it. I still pretty much will continue it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Another story I did was, based on Sega Superstars Tennis, and you're wondering, how could something like that possibly work? Well, let's just say it was something I did earlier. It was like, this game doesn't really have a story, so maybe I should do something about it. So yeah, I made
And again, they were gonna add a story for Sonic All-Stars Racing, but no.
Yeah, they scrapped that idea because, it's a racing game.
Come on, I would have loved to see a story for that.
Yes. Also, pretty much cutscenes for characters. Hang on a sec. Okay, guys, Danny's back.
Hi.
Yeah, she had to do something.
Yep.
But anyways, what we're talking about is, well, me. Let's just say I had to get a little creative with, the Superstars tennis story, and, let's just say Knights and Riala, they do get more involved in the story, because, come on, when it comes to a certain Sonic character, or when it comes to certain Sega characters, I try to at least give some characters some time to shine, but of course, I don't want Sonic to mainly get that, because, I don't want to have him exposed a lot.
He's got enough exposure.
Yes. Also, for the fact that I made Knights a little more serious this time around, and that whenever Riala's around, Knight's just either going to ignore him, but if Riala actually threatens anyone in the All-Stars area, or at least in the town, then Knights gets pretty much serious. As in, Knights is going to protect them no matter what. But there's a reason behind that, and it actually ties the two together as the reason why their rivalship is a lot more serious than how it is nowadays. And also for the fact that I think I definitely did make Knights a little more, I try to keep Knights in character while at the same time giving a little more development and character growth, as in something you basically are kind of obsessed to stop something, but take it too far, and you end up hurting someone who didn't really do anything wrong. And of course, I definitely made Riala have his own reasons for why he does what he does. Danny, what was your first impression when you read it?
I don't know. I didn't get too far. I only got into your introduction. Just when it comes to me reading, I just can't sit down and read through something that long. That's just me, because I can't sit for long periods of time. I just can't.
I can understand why.
And just animating, it's like, my butt.
I can't blame you.
I need to be up and moving, I need to be walking, I need to be doing all that sort of stuff, but I can't walk while animating as much as I wish I could.
Yeah, it's problematic.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should pretty much talk about, the games. Impressions on Nights into Dreams. It was pretty much the first, and it was actually, you got pretty much what goes on for Sonic that was, brought into Sonic. You gotta thank Nights for that, such as, like, the introduction to, the Chow Garden scenario, or the Chow Garden thing. Because the Nighttopians were actually, the Nighttopians were first, then came pretty much the Chow.
And everyone thought the Nighttopians were the knockoffs.
Yes. And of course, let's not forget. Oh, hey, this guy looks a lot like Shadow. He pretty much came after. No. Riala was actually first, then came Shadow.
First.
Yes, he was the first to introduce the red and black concept, even though clearly Shadow is black and red. People honestly keep mixing that up.
That's both the same color, so what?
Yeah, but it just kind of annoys me a bit. That's just minor nitpick.
Pet peeve.
Yes. Also, I am definitely probably gonna get flame for this, but don't flame me, please. But I find the Knights and Riala rival battle a lot more sense, unlike with Sonic and Shadows. I think I brought it up before, but I think I need to remind a bit. Danny, what do you think of that? Are Knights and Riala's rivalship a lot better than Sonic and Shadows?
I don't pay attention to that sort of stuff. I'm just looking at one character.
Well, when you think about it, nowadays, Sonic and Shadow, they're kind of pretty much They're pretty much they're basically the Goku Vegeta thing. But Knights and Reala, I can buy the fact that these two were rivals because, well, they pretty much have a point to pick a fight with each other, but not all the time. But they're not teaming up all the time. There will be points where they do, but as of mostly they're not, which I like. Plus, I do find the Reala fight to be a little more interesting. Even though clearly Journey of Dreams just kind of, you know, didn't really do that much. It did get a good jazz theme, though. And a rock hard music. Also, NID, I didn't play that game, but I did see a lot of Let's Plays about it and what people have to say about it. And let's just say, Classic Knights fans, I pretty much think that they get a little too overwhelmed with this. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but please don't shove it down people's throats saying that, oh, you gotta like this. Don't pretty much like the sequel. It's terrible, or something like that. NID, let's just say, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it's pretty much the idea of the introduction to Knights, and I do like how, well, we got these sort of things that Sega could actually work with and experiment with. Plus, that game was worth playing on the Saturn. I'm not joking.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen all that shoving NID into people's throats like that. I never have.
Then I guess it was just me. But mainly when it came to reviews.
I don't know. I see that in the Sonic community.
There was the Knights pinball game.
Yes.
Music was pretty good, environments were actually really nice, and bosses were very well designed.
It wasn't me, or did Reala look a lot bulkier in that game?
I guess he kinda did. Also for the fact he wore less clothing.
I don't know, and that's another thing. I always saw him as wearing tights.
He was just wearing a vest, he was wearing gauntlets with gloves with golden claws and, well, red and black socks.
You call them socks?
What? They look like socks.
Okay then.
Even though clearly, and also he had a diamond pattern, which looked pretty nice.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm used to the newer. I was introduced to the new one, so if you give me the old one, it's like, oh, okay. It's still a good design, it's just I like the newer version.
I have to admit, the older one was kind of creepy, to be honest.
I never found him creepy at all.
Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, because I love grim stuff.
Yes, you do. And he sounded slightly like AJ.
I don't know who AJ is.
Applejack.
Oh. Where? I can do whatever I want, Sugar Cube.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. But anyways. But, yeah. Nights into Dreams, it basically is what I like to call a, it was a good, arcade-style game. It had a lot of good ideas in it. It definitely had a lot, it has a decent story, actually. And, well, even though it is simple, it's not fully complex. Also, I like the fact that Knights is a little bit more different to Sonic, not just in character, not just in design-wise.
And Knights also gave Sonic his first debut in 3D.
Yes, because in the Saturn, you can actually have a mode where you can play as Sonic. No joke. The Hedgehog's first introduction to 3D.
And this is how Sonic treats him. This is how Sonic treats Knights.
Yes.
You never get it again.
Yes. Just why? It just didn't work. And then when Journey of Dreams came out, well, let's just say fans, they were kind of a mix with it. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Danny, what are your thoughts about Journey of Dreams?
That's the thing. I didn't buy it when it was first released. I bought it like 10 years later.
Yeah, well, since you had played it or pretty much looked or did your research on it, how do you honestly think about it? Your opinions?
Well, one, Sega was trying to go for a different style to not more than just go for the old classics, but to also appeal to new audience, which was pretty good. The graphics for that time probably was the best.
Plus, it was
but
early,
I played it.
It was like, early days of the Wii, after all.
Yeah, I just found it that the Wii is not entirely compatible with the flight simulation.
Especially with the Mindset, I believe that one was called. You know, where you're just playing with the Wii by itself.
Not sure. It's just when I look at it, I don't think the Wii would have been the best choice, but back then Wii was all the craze, so join in the hub.
Yep. But hey, it was better than Sonic and the Super Rings.
Yeah.
At least Black Knight actually made up for it. Just a little bit.
I still thought Black Knight was a bad game. I raged quit on that and I never picked it up after that.
Even though clearly Riella was in it. Kinda.
That was way before I even knew he was in it.
Yes. Same here. Also,
like I could...
What about gameplay?
Sega, it was never a good idea to stick to all of everything that in the first game. Because basically, how the flight simulation worked, it basically was doing the same thing it did with Into Dreams, and I think what they needed to do was actually expand.
Yeah, they definitely did. Even though they did try to experiment with it a bit.
That's the thing. If you're advertising free flight, why does it feel so restricted?
I don't know.
That's what I found a bit ironic. Because when doing the Into Dreams, that was all the craze. That wasn't the one everyone was thinking of yet. So Nights was already one of the games that was above its time. But when Sega tried to bring it all back to make it look like the same thing again, they played with the wrong equation. That's my opinion, and that's why I feel like Jod ended up flunking.
Yeah, also there were some moments where it just felt like mainly the Mindset would not really respond as much.
Yeah. I think if they really wanted to sell it, I think they need to learn to expand their horizons and level out the restrictions a bit less.
Yep. How about graphics?
I still like the graphics. I thought the graphics were fine. But there are some graphical glitches in there that bugs me sometimes.
Especially something like in Pure Valley. No, seriously. Someone actually did a picture of that, and there was like a graphical error.
Some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, that spooked me when that happened. I was like, what did I do?
It was just a graphical error.
Yeah. And also in some of the cutscenes, there are graphical errors in there, and it sort of bugged me a bit, especially the elusive owl glitch.
Really?
It bugs me if something shifts so quickly like that. It's like, okay, what happened there? You had plenty of time to move him. Why did he glitch so quickly like that? It's like, Sega!
Sega! Sorry. How about the soundtrack?
Nothing to complain about.
I have to admit,
Nothing.
soundtrack is just amazing.
I love it.
Yeah, it just goes on with different types of themes to it. It's definitely a mixed bag. A pure delight.
Yes.
You gotta go with your real impression or something?
What?
I pretty much heard you were going in your real impression or something.
I was not.
Well, it kind of almost did. But, anyways, yeah, I definitely really like the soundtrack. It was definitely really, really nice. And, yeah, it's definitely a plus. And, well, the graphics, I basically have to admit, they definitely were really impressive for an early Wii game, no less. Plus, it was actually nice that we actually got something other than Sonic for once. And, okay, how about, story-wise? Well, I could say that
Some areas were just complete messes.
Yeah, I mean, Helen's was not really focused. I mean, seriously, they gave all these ideas and they had nothing to do with her. I mean, seriously, they don't know what they wanted her to do. I mean, one moment there's doing the taking responsibilities, or secondly talking about how fragile her heart is, or even with her memories. What does that all lead up to? What are you trying to get across with that story?
I don't know. Maybe that was just a teaser that she was coming to that age where girls are literally just bipolar. That could have been a nod to that.
And I feel
I'm joking around. Don't take my word for it. Because that's how a lot of people portray women in the media. It's like they're very bipolar when they hit that type of age. It's like first moment they're happy and next moment their heart's broken. And then the other moment they're raging.
Maybe this is why Riella was just messing with her. Yeah. He was just messing with her.
Will's was a little bit more developed.
Yeah, it was more
focused. I think I prefer Will's a little bit more because it's clear he's having trust and abandonment issues.
Yes. It may not be Envy or Edwards, but not nearly as bad.
Yeah, because his father started going away on work, and then he started breaking his promises. So then when his father started breaking his promises more and more, and he started leaving Will more often, he started not trusting his friends, and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That made sense.
Yes. But my main question is that, how come Riella doesn't have much to do with Will's plot, but he has slightly with Helen? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, seriously, Riella appeared a lot more in Will's dream than he did in Helen's. I mean, Riella only shows up in Helen's dream twice, and, well, the first encounter was just an ambush. The other time, it was just a manipulation, which, by the way, is my favorite scene of Riella in that game. 10 out of 10 for him being that snide, evil manipulator that he is. As for Will's, let's just say he's a lot more threatening in that. I mean,
yeah.
Seriously, especially the second part. I mean, the second dream.
Pin knights to a door.
Actually, that was in Helen's dream.
Oh, wrong one.
Yes.
Holding Will at claw point.
Yes. He was actually planning to kill Will if things did not go his way.
He's dreaming! You can't actually hurt him, stupid!
He could die of fright from this.
Could not!
Could too! Wow. Are you guys related or something? But yeah. Unless, of course,
Seriously, I found that stupid. Like, maybe he could have threatened to, like, swipe away his Idia. Like, the one he just got, his Idia purity is like, come one more step closer, and I'll just swipe back his Idia again. That would have made more sense, because if you kill him, he's just gonna wake up! What?
Actually, I think
what is that?
Actually, what I was thinking is that I think they were gonna go for a Nightmare on Elm Street thing. You know, if you die in a dream, you die in real life.
Wouldn't that be darker, huh?
Yes, it would. I mean, heck, look at Sonic 06. They actually killed off Sonic.
That's not canon anymore.
Yes. Or look at Shadow the Hedgehog.
What is there in Shadow the Hedgehog?
It's just pure edge. But of course, it's T for teen. Why?
No, it's not. It's E for 10.
Still, it's ridiculous. Plus, believe it or not, Riella is the only one who got away with saying a cuss word.
Riella?
Yes, when Wiseman mentioned Cerberus, he said the H word.
There's nothing wrong with saying hell.
Yes, but he managed to get away with it. Oddly enough, I know this is a little off topic, but in Kid Icarus Uprising, pretty much when you're going to fight aliens, believe it or not, that was the first chapter of that arc. Hades, the god of the underworld, actually said, "How much more hell do they plan on raising?" Seriously? I'm not kidding. He literally did say that. Look it up if you guys are curious. Sorry. I just had to bring that up.
You're just going so much off tangent. We're both going off tangents. It's not a good thing.
I'm sorry. But anyways, how about the innuendos? How about the innuendos that Sega pretty much shoved us in with that game? Even though clearly it's supposed to eat for everyone.
The first 5 minutes, there's an innuendo!
You can name that, okay?
Touch nights. There's nights always showing off her butt. There were a couple scenes where Riel ended up having his butt in front of the screen.
Only, like, I think once?
Once or twice, maybe?
Yes.
And then there's the elusive pinning knights to the door. I found that a little bit, on the perverted side.
Although, he was holding knights by the collar.
You may never know. It still just didn't look right to me.
Also, let's not forget, it sounded like Riella was, when he was actually saying specific lines, per se, especially when it came to the first one, Lost Park. Yeah. just listen to it without looking at the visuals, and you'll get what I'm trying to say.
That was so horrible.
Yeah, why would they do that? I mean, it's supposed to be threatening, yet it came off so wrong.
And now some people joke around calling him a pedophile.
I don't see him as that.
It sounded like he was a pedophile.
He didn't do that with Helen.
I consider he did that tonight.
Yeah, I guess.
Especially in that menacing scene, he kind of did grab Knights in a sense, kind of.
By the shoulder?
Weird. Yeah.
I don't know why he decided to do that. It just doesn't make sense.
Beating the Knights fans.
Yes, you're making it much difficult, Sega. Thank you. Also, for the fact Wiseman barely did anything. Although, I think he kind of pretty much did in, like, 2 of Will's, levels in Pure Valley.
Well, he did it once in Helen's.
Oh, yeah, that too.
But seriously, she should have died. She should have woke up. A fall from that height. No.
Well, we're in the water.
She barely landed in the water. The water was like not even a foot.
Yeah. Honestly, I just really would have liked to see how the story would have gone if they actually had a little more focus and not just shove all these ideas in. I know it was a try, but it just really didn't add up. I also did like the idea about the two-player option where it was just race and battle. And the only time you get to play is Riala. I always play as second player because I love that Red Knight Marin.
Weep.
And the final one is going to be voice acting. Everyone complained about it.
I'd say it ranged from cringy to Academy Awards.
Yes, pretty much. Let's just begin with the worst.
Let him go!
Just trying to find your feel and way into saying those lines.
It was supposed to be let him go.
Yeah.
The dialogue and the subtitles implied.
Yes. Of course. Of course. And of course, let's not forget, the way Helen screamed when she was getting dragged down by that portal. That was actually more hilarious than it was, kind of frightening.
Terrifying,
Yes.
I think the actress should have made it, like, more, like, short and terrifying. Like, ah!
Yes, that would have worked.
That could have worked a bit better. And of course, Knights' grade A acting. Helen!
Yes. But also there was Will. Ah!
Will!
Oh, come on, Knights. You were more worried about Helen than you were with Will. What gives?
He's a big boy.
Also, we can talk about moments later, but I'd say for pretty much voice acting, Helen's was not really the best. I mean, don't get me wrong, the voice actors pretty much tried, but just didn't know how to find her feel to it. Sounds slightly emotionless half the time. Your friend? I mean, seriously? That's all you got? Don't worry. I will take you there. I did not mean to say it like that.
Yeah, that was not it. I don't know. I don't always pay attention to the voice acting, but I know some of it was like, what the heck?
Yes. At least Will was actually a little better and halfway decent, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess. They both had their flaws.
Yes. Let's see. I didn't really mind Owl. He was actually pretty good. Ooh. Nice here.
I would say.
Sorry.
I would say he would have been better if he wasn't popping up so many times.
Yeah, people actually dubbed him as like the Navi of the game. Hey!
The almost.
Hey! Listen! Hey! Listen! Shut up, Navi. We don't need to know. We already do.
Omochow.
I'm Omochow.
Someone get the Omochow gun and feed him to Aquat. You got the Omochow.
You got the Omochow gun.
Ow.
Thanks, Aquat.
No problem.
Dang it, he's still alive.
Yeah. Anyway.
Back to our review.
Yes. Also, you gotta admit, Wiseman gave off a really good performance.
I'd say subpar.
It's freaking Mojo Jojo, for crying out loud. I am bad. I am evil. I am Mojo Jojo.
I don't even know half of your references, I'm sorry.
That was from the Powerpuff Girls. If you actually look up Mojo Jojo, you'll get what I'm saying. You'll get what I mean. Also, fun fact, the person who also voiced that character also voiced the this is another game, but he also voiced the Cheshire Cat in Alice Madness Returns, and of course the prequel to that game. Just thought I'd bring that up. Pretty cool trivia, if I do say so myself. And of course, definitely Oscar award, I'd say. Riala was the one who stole the show, mainly.
I think that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, but most of the majority would have to say that he definitely did steal it. I mean,
yeah, he did.
Heck, he was so good that they actually gave the actor a chance of being Sonic in the Black Knight. I think he was also in House of the Dead, I believe.
I do not know.
Just a thought. But, of course, there were fans out there who really did not really, think Knights was, fitting.
It was a poor attempt at some point, so I can understand why they would think that.
I don't know. Knights' voice didn't really bother me that much.
Yeah, I always liked Knights' female voice, so what? And then everyone was mad because Knights got a voice and it was female and not male because some people were still gender hurt.
Yes. I mean, seriously, how are you going to make a character sound like a little boy and a little girl? I mean, heck, if you want to know a real genderless character, try Envy from Full Metal Alchemist. That character clearly was genderless. You have people associated being male.
Didn't they say at one point he was a female in that book?
That was a mistranslate. Plus, it's pretty much getting in the show, 03 that is, that Envy, his old body was male. William Hohenheim.
Yeah.
I don't know why that mixed that up, but I just thought I'd point that out. And even if Envy was voiced by a female in both versions, he at least pretty much came off as male. The only time I actually mistook him for a female was because of the hair. Seriously, anime, you really make me really confused about this stuff.
They always make boys with long, luscious hair and big eyes, that's why.
Yep.
I'm not an anime person.
I'm not really a big anime person. I'm just mostly going with the ones that actually interest me. But anyways, yeah, Knights pretty much is genderless, but you can pretty much see how Knights is to you. So yeah, that's pretty much what Knights is supposed to be. You're supposed to reflect on how you see Knights as.
Yes.
Also,
and mostly I see...
sorry, go on.
Sorry, I personally see Knights as a girl. Ashley personally thinks Knights as a boy. We're both okay with it.
Yes, it's perfectly fine.
Though I am slowly making her say she instead of he. I am sorry.
It's fine.
The influence is real.
Yes. Also, that Riel is also genderless, but mostly just refer to it as a he.
Honestly, he looks like a he to me.
My doggo is laying on the ground. I mean, just laying. Hey, Zoe! Zoe, look over here.
Tangents!
Hi, Zoe.
More tangents and I can't even see it. That's the worst part.
Don't worry. Like I said, once this is uploaded, you can see.
This is probably going to be an hour long.
Make that an hour and 10 minutes.
See?
Oh boy. But anyways, yeah, I think I pretty much agree that Journey of Dreams, while it is my childhood game, it does have its fair share of problems.
Yeah, it is one of my favorites, but there are problems. And Sega, why can't we get a new Knights game? Why can't we get a re-release? Why can't we get anything Knights related?
Just stop focusing on Sonic. Please, I'm getting sick and tired of him.
Come on, have you talked to Aaron Weber? There are fans that literally told him, are we ever going to see some Knights merchandise or anything yet?
Yes.
And you said it yourself, Aaron, that responses like that lead you guys to go more towards that direction.
And besides...
So, are you going to do it?
Yeah, and besides...
Please?
When it comes to Knights, dreams are endless. You can come up with any type of dream. I mean, hey,
within the limits of child.
Yes. I really wouldn't mind seeing a Candyland-based Knights dream world.
Nightopia dream world.
Yes. Although, I know in Sonic Lost World, there was like a food theme level, and I was thinking like...
Dessert level Act 3, I think.
Yeah. But that looked like it came right out of Knights. I don't know why, but it looked like it could fit in Knights.
I didn't get that impression.
I guess because it was the fat, Deadly Six member.
I got more Super Mario Galaxy.
Well, Super Mario Galaxy did have a food theme.
A couple of them.
Honestly, it definitely looked good and actually made me want to have some of that. I mean, just water mouthing.
Mouth watering.
Yes. Or heck, pretty much an idea would be as well. I'm sure fans would actually like an idea, but I pretty much wonder this. If there was actually a Knights game, I would really like to have an option to actually team up with the Nightmares actually. Or maybe give some character development with some of these guys. Because, well, the bosses, I know. They're supposed to be like monsters or something. But some actually could be capable of talking. We could get we could get some lore behind them.
I know, but I don't think that's what everyone would like, because then that's a little bit overcomplicating with the story, because this is supposed to be focusing on said dreamer, not any other. Because, I don't know, that's how I see it, and honestly, when there's already that many characters, I don't want to see more brought in that possibly could sidetrack from the main story.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I could see if they could actually have their own voices, that's completely okay, and they have their own slight sense of thought process and talking, that's completely okay, but giving them like a fleshed out small mini backstory, that's where I'm iffy at. I think that's a distraction.
Then I guess the bio could be in the, sort of extras, I guess.
Yeah, I could see them having their own bio and an extras, or if this was like an actual storybook or anime, then go ahead, knock yourself out. For a game, maybe not.
Honestly, I would have liked to see a Knights anime or something.
Yeah, that would have been nice too.
Yeah, I mean,
because Sonic's got how many cartoons?
Yes, and no other Sega character did. I mean, seriously, Knights practically is for everyone actually. But even though there's some sort of like childish themes slightly in it, it does get off a much more mature state and more complex themes in it. Just that people don't really notice that. I mean, think about it. I think for maybe if there was an anime, it could actually be, well, what the comics started off with. But instead of what we got from season 2, we could actually expand upon it and not go that route and actually get something more interesting. And then Riella could be a lot more threatening than how they did with him in the comics. Besides, isn't he supposed to be intelligent or something? Why did he easily get, I don't know, stooped by a basketball? Or at least a Nighttopian or running away from Nighttopians? I don't get that.
I will never get what the writers were thinking.
I mean, seriously, Riel is supposed to be threatening, and in Journey of Dreams, it actually showed that the Nighttopians were afraid of him.
I think back then they wanted to give Nighttopians a little bit more personality than just being that little thing you see in the level.
Yes.
I really don't know. I don't want to bring up the comic again. I really don't. That's just painful memory.
Yeah. Didn't you bring up before that the blue chips actually look like the blue Idia?
Yes. I think that was during a private conversation.
Yeah. You pretty much say that if Riella actually took the Idia, he was actually taking the blue chips because, well, he can't really tell the difference, I guess. But then again, he is a first level nightmare, and so therefore he would recognize what an Idia and a blue chip look like. He can identify them.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's about everything.
Yes. We would talk about more, but I think this has gone on long enough. I think for next time we could actually talk about what a game idea for Knight's theme would be like, or maybe what an anime version would look like, or at least be like. But for now, this is all we wanted to talk about. It was just something that I brought up before, and, well, just hope that you guys would actually get the idea of what we're trying to say.
Sorry we went off on tangents.
Yeah, sorry guys, it doesn't, I don't really mean to do it, it's just that it happens. But anyways guys, this is Ashley.
And Danny.
And we wish you all a good night. See you all later, everyone. Danny.
Yes?
Just say goodbye.
You cut me off last time when I was saying goodbye.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao, everyone.